So another common question we get, because we follow this program ourselves, is what is the NIST cybersecurity framework?
Yeah, we include it in every one of our proposals. We have charts about it. We talk about it. There's probably nobody, unless they are talking with us and seeing our proposal and hearing our discussions, that would come right out with that. But it's important to know why we chose this framework, and it is a framework, not a compliance, developed by the National Institute of Standards and Technology, federal government, that wanted to create a baseline and say, these are things you should put in place. Not for no good reason. It was, I think it was constructed so that it could be used across many industries, no specific industry. This isn't geared towards medical or finance. This can be used against any industry, and it can be used within any size company. You have a 5-user company, you have a 500-user company. It applies because it's broken down into categories of how you're going to implement protections. You know, there's the most common one that everybody talks about is protect. That's one of the 5 tenets of it. Okay, what does protect mean? Well, we go back to the beginning and say, well, identify is the most important tenet to start with, because if you don't identify what you have, what do you know about protecting it? If I don't know my assets, I don't know where my data is, I don't know what the data is, I don't know what systems I have. You've got to identify, inventory those. All of these components, identify, detect, protect, recover, respond, recover, all of them fit together in an order so that you can have tools, policies, procedures, and plans in place to be able to not just protect your organization, which of course is the objective, but if something doesn't go as planned and you get breached, somebody ends up hitting your environment with ransomware, how can I quickly respond to that? Meaning the response is, how do I contain it so it doesn't become the worm running wild in my environment, but I can quickly get back to operational status. How am I going to get my work done at the end of the day? How can I be productive? How can I ship product? How can I deliver services? And all of those components of this framework, this NIST CSF that we've built our entire program around, is really intended to use best practice, follow a guideline, implement proper tools that can actually protect you. And if something goes wrong, you're ready for it, not just with a written plan, but you've got a tool that you can use to recover instantly.
I think something that's important to understand under the heading of best practice is that they don't say install this particular next generation endpoint software, install this specific kind of a firewall, right? They say you need to have something at the perimeter of
the edge of your network,
to reduce the amount of traffic that can get through and detect threats that happen. There's several different ways you could do that. So the best practice piece is what makes it generic enough that it says these are the things that you should be doing, not how you should do them.
Yeah, and they're not picking names out of a hat and saying this is the one that fits that particular need. There's 5 different things that you can use for that particular endpoint protection need, for instance, that all qualify. They may not all do the same exact job or do it as well as one another. And that's our job to figure out exactly what the best product is and how it works to reduce risk. But it is a requirement.
And I think, the fact that this is a federal government agency, there's no sponsorship. There's no edge protection sponsored by, right? I mean, so nobody got a vote from a vendor standpoint about what should go into this. This is just industry best practices.
I agree. Yes, I think it was a great idea, and the implementation it's now advancing. We're just rolling out version 2.0 from the government, and it gets a little bit tighter and a little bit more structured with each version that they run out. It's been version 1.1 for a while, and it's worked quite well. And they saw a few holes, and they said, "Hey, let's improve upon it." And they're spending effort, and I think that they've given people the right guidance.
Great. Thank you for that.